With the recent updates to the other dinosaur game I play, it has been a hot minute since I've thrown myself headlong into Path of Titans. Someone recommended that I give Styrachosaurus a try, and since I haven't played any herbivores yet, I figured, why not? As usual, I decided to play on Arazoa, because I like their rules. So, as a quick overview, on Arazoa, Styrachosaurus is an angry little potato. They basically hate everyone and everything that's not other Styrachos, and will defend up to 3 body lengths of personal space around them without warning. Mock charging and threat displays toward anything within their line of sight is highly encouraged, and they have a zero-tolerance policy for other herbivores hanging out around them. With that in mind, I aimed to play as the angriest little potato child I possibly could. Within reason, of course. The tiny baby deer must first grow into a large spiky orb before she can appear threatening to anything. I didn't get far into my growth before the first threat appeared. Footsteps in this game are a bit loud for my liking. Many of the sounds in general don't give much of a hint toward the distance of the thing making them, unfortunately. So when I heard what sounded like fairly large footfall coming in what I assumed was my general direction, I hid myself as best I could while I tried to gauge how close the threat actually was. When I finally spotted the Rex, I realized it was also fairly small. I decided it was time to move on from the area and find somewhere a bit safer to continue questing. From area to area I went, collecting all manner of objects. Where I was keeping them is anyone's guess, but my Styracho really likes flowers, so who am I to judge? Anyway, it was the dry season on Arazoa, and water was beginning to grow scarce. Often, even when I would find a water source, the quality was too low to consume. I was glad Styrachosaurus can move so fast, because getting to each new water source in hopes of finding one that was drinkable was making me feel a bit on edge. As I came to yet another potential source of hydration, I found myself in a bit of a bind. I could run all the way round and travel down to the water safely. Or I could risk climbing down a steep rock and hope that I survive should I slip. I slipped. With a crunch and a gasp, I hit the ground with very little health and no legs to stand on. But I survived the fall. Now I had to hope the water was good enough to drink. Otherwise, I'd just die of thirst quickly after taking so much damage. Although I could hear Yutis nearby, I couldn't force myself to care. If they killed me, if dehydration killed me, if the fall killed me, my fate was sealed no matter what if the water was no good. Finally hydrated again, I began my travels anew. I still had a lot of growing to do before I was a threat to anything, and needed to finish healing up after my fall as well. I didn't get far before loud footfall sent me scurrying off the path and behind some rocks and trees. A vocalization informed me that I had walked right into the path of a Rex. Although I could easily outrun it if it came down to it, my little Styracho was frozen with fear. I didn't want to be seen and become a target, but I also wanted to be sure of where the Rexes were headed, so I didn't end up in the same place and get caught unaware. Looking back, I believe the Rexes were nesting in this area, something that Arazoa offers through use of mods. Therefore, they were attempting to defend their nestlings from the tiny raptors that were hunting them. I watched for a moment before taking the opportunity to slip away before I was noticed. As I got closer to adulthood, I decided to drag my friend Tiger into the fray.
always wanted to play herbivores, but I just don't know how to find food.
Yeah, so I switched my diet
To
as
the
soon as I
forager
had
one,
the
right?
money. Yeah.
Yeah.
Solo play is fine, even preferred sometimes, but I almost always feel safer in a group if I can manage it.
Much rather just eat flowers
Yeah.
than have to find the bushes, because the bushes are a nightmare.
Oh, something behind us, something behind us.
Now that I was bigger, I felt more comfortable being the angsty little bully ball that Styracho is
Be
intended to
aggressive.
be on
No.
Arazoa. Which means when a small Edmontosaurus approached us without a care in the world for our personal space, I did my very best to threaten and bluster with the best of them.
I'm scary.
Back off, buddy. He just lays down.
You almost hit me, man. Oh my lord.
Mock charge him.
Ow.
Tough little man wouldn't take "go away" for an answer, though.
Back off.
And when he ultimately decided to bite Tiger, well, he had to be sent away with a good prod from my large horn. Anger Orb gameplay continued as I finally reached adulthood, and we traveled around collecting quests for Tiger's growth.
What did you hear?
We came across a herd of Stegosaurs.
I did.
Kill it.
Stego. No,
Oh,
it's a Stego.
hello.
That we promptly angry snorted at, because of course. Sometime later, when Tiger had grown into a fine subadult, we ran into the Stegosaurus herd once more. This time, though, the encounter wouldn't end so peacefully. Food sources are one of the few things that herbivores on Arazoa are allowed to actually fight over. While they can contest and fight, no deaths can occur. Once one party or the other begins to show serious wounds, or they forecall, then the contest is over and the losing party forfeits their right to eat that particular food source.
Oh, he's contesting us for it. I'll fight him for it.
Ow.
Oh, its friends are coming. Ow, you hit me. God, here comes his friends. Oh,
Ow, mother.
yeah, you just ran right into my charge. Well, I don't think we can win this fight now.
No, I don't think so.
That's okay.
While we could have continued the fight for
Not
longer,
with all three of them.
we weren't nearly hungry enough to fight 3 adult stegos for half a berry bush. And getting heavily injured meant putting ourselves at risk if a carnivore happened along who was hungry enough to hunt. Risk of injury and death, however,
It was fun.
didn't stop me from making ridiculous decisions in quieter areas, though.
Oh, that is a very large cliff.
Oh, I can fly.
I believe I could fly. Oh, there's a rock here. Oh, I'm so screwed. I should not have done that. Should not have done that.
Well.
I got this. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to decide which side would be. Nope, it's gotta be this
To
one.
see your name disappear.
Oh, it's not gonna. I got this. Ha!
Oh, Lord.
Oh, that hurts, but I did it. I'm alive.
I'm not going down that way. I'm going around. Oh my. Insane.
I can never die. I'm the cameraman.
The camera. You made me spit all over my phone with that. Jesus.
The cameraman doesn't die. What are you talking about? Alright, I'm healed enough. It's fine. Gosh, why are you making me go cliff diving?
But me? You're the one who voluntarily jumped. Your poor legs. My god. Did anyone ever
Fine.
teach you to tuck and roll?
I tried, okay? I only broke my legs for 6 seconds. It's fine.
Oh, okay. Oh, would you look at that?
The never-ending quest for water in the dry season led us to Young Grove. I hoped to find our way to a small puddle that was a bit more obscure in one of the caves there. But we got a bit sidetracked. We were both adults, not really sure what kind of tier we could face without running into severe trouble. Normally, I'd advise against threaten calling a Rex.
That is large. Hi. I'm gonna 3-call him.
No, don't do it. He's so big.
Well, too late.
But Styracho is basically a honey badger, and it didn't take much to encourage the big hungry boy to attack.
Help, help.
Charge! Oh, that was not my charge attack. Screw that.
I'm coming. Never mind, I'm not coming.
Alright, I need to like... Yeah. Back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up. Ha ha! Hit him in the butt! Don't let him bite you. Especially not with his charged attack. Look out! Coming in!
I'm trying to move. I have a fracture. I have a fracture. Help.
Oh, you're so in trouble.
Help.
I can't help! Get out of the way! Get out of the way! I got it! Back up! Back up! I'm on his butt.
I'm gonna die. I'm dead.
Yeah, I see that.
I'm dead.
Alright.
So anyway, that didn't go as well as it could have.
Why would you let me fight that thing, Meta?
Tiger got hit by the Rex's fracture bite, and there wasn't much to be done to save him. I got all the way out of that Rex's space. Actually, I got so far out of his space that I logged off for the day.
And I kept resetting the brake.
I logged back in a few days later and spent a good while just wandering around. As much as I enjoy there being rules on servers, sometimes those rules make for extremely boring gameplay. All I could do was wander, trot here, trot there, stare longingly at something that looked like it would be fun to fight, only to trot off again when it just looked at me and then walked away. What good is being a spiky bowling ball if I could never actually go bowling? Finally, a few hours into my escapades for the day, the creature I despise most of all in the entire game came waddling out of the grass. Megalania. Always with the same skin, even. And for once, I wasn't even upset that it picked a fight. I still hate how easy it is to tail ride in this game. Even using my precision movement wasn't enough because my rate of precision moving was so incredibly slow. If I can stand on my hind legs to stomp, let me whip around and pummel the fool who decides to hang around my hind legs. Or at least give me a kick so I can punt them in the face when I can't properly turn around. A bit of frustration later, Adilo decided to attempt to third-party the fight. As a Styrachosaurus, I was allowed to continue chasing my aggressor as long as I could maintain line of sight, So I ignored the Dilo entirely and promptly misclicked myself into a charge right off a cliff and into the river. Whoops. I found a bit of land to catch my breath on, forgetting that Megalania can actually swim quite well. Before I knew it, he was attacking me again, forcing me back onto my feet. I still had the upper hand, though. There was only one way up, and he'd have to go through my head to get to my vulnerable back end. Ultimately, the Dilo's pack arrived, and I was able to escape to dry land and heal. I attempted to play more over the next several weeks, but I couldn't find a single dino or pack willing to fight me. Just as I was ready to give up, call it a wrap and just accept the one fight, I found them. A pack of Uties. Out of my league? Probably. Especially as a solo, inexperienced Styracho, who had just swapped Stomp for better turning radius because when have I ever actually used this attack? No one is dumb enough to stand in front of me for long enough. I was sure wishing I had it now, though, as the Uties face tanked me like the best of them. I don't even have a clue what kind of damage I actually do as a Styracho, but my guess is not much, considering how many times I stabbed the one I was targeting before I got blocked and ultimately lost sight of which one was which. Finally, after many weeks of aimless wandering, my very angry Styracho went down fighting. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and a comment. If you're new around here, please consider subscribing for more content like this. Thanks, and I hope to see you in the next video.